Pack your bags because very soon a woman who has gray hair is. My beloved child, pause for a moment and listen carefully, because something extraordinary is quietly moving in your direction. Right now, life may feel ordinary. The same streets, the same routines, the same quiet thoughts that follow you through the day. But beneath that calm surface, something meaningful has already begun to unfold. Very soon, you may feel an unusual urge, a gentle pull telling you to prepare, to gather your things, to open your heart to a journey you did not expect. That is why this message is reaching you now. Pack your bags. Not in panic. Not in fear. But in quiet anticipation. Because very soon, a woman with gray hair will step into your path in a way that feels strangely familiar, almost as if your story and hers were always meant to intersect. You might notice her in a simple moment. Perhaps in a place where people pass without thinking. Perhaps in a conversation that seems ordinary at first. Or perhaps in a quiet encounter that leaves you wondering why her presence feels so meaningful. Do not skip this moment. Stay till the end of this message, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. This woman is not appearing by accident. Her gray hair carries years of experience, quiet wisdom, and stories that have shaped a life filled with patience and understanding. When she looks at you, there may be a calm recognition, as if she already knows something about the road you have been walking. And when that moment arrives, you may feel something inside you shift. Not loudly, but deeply. As if a door that has been closed for a long time is finally beginning to open. You may not understand it immediately. In fact, at first it might seem like a small encounter, a brief crossing of paths that could easily be forgotten. But it will not be forgotten. Because the truth is this. Your journey is about to take a turn you never expected. And this woman with gray hair holds a small piece of the reason why. But before that meeting happens, there is something you must understand about the path you have already walked, something that will make everything clearer when the moment finally arrives. Stay with this message, because the next part reveals the quiet preparation that has been happening around you all along. My beloved child, there is a quiet moment approaching in your life that will feel different from all the others. You may not notice it at first. The day will begin like any other. The same sky above you, the same thoughts moving through your mind. Yet beneath the surface of that ordinary day, something meaningful will already be unfolding. Listen closely. Very soon, you will feel a strange urge to prepare yourself, not with worry, but with a sense of calm readiness. It will feel as if your heart is gently whispering, "Get ready. Something important is coming." And that is why these words are reaching you now. Pack your bags. Not because you are running away from something, but because life is quietly opening a door that you didn't know existed. A new experience, a new encounter, a moment that will feel almost written into your story long before you realized it. Stay with this message and don't skip ahead, because something huge is waiting for you to understand. Very soon, a woman with gray hair will cross your path. She will not arrive with noise or attention. Her presence will be simple, calm, and almost easy to overlook. But something about her will make you pause. Maybe it will be the way she speaks. Maybe it will be the calm in her eyes. Or maybe it will be the strange feeling that you have met her somewhere before, even if you know you haven't. This moment will feel small on the outside. But inside, it will carry meaning. The years reflected in her gray hair are not just signs of time passing. They carry stories, quiet wisdom, and experiences that have shaped a person who understands more than she says. And when she appears in your life, even briefly, something inside you may begin to shift. A thought. A realization. A feeling that your path is about to change direction. Right now, you might be wondering how a simple encounter with someone you don't yet know could matter so much. That is the mystery. Because the truth behind this meeting is deeper than it first appears, and the reason your journey is about to move forward in an unexpected way has been quietly building for longer than you realize. Stay until the end of this story. Because in the next moment, you will begin to understand why this woman with gray hair is about to become a turning point in your path, and why you were meant to hear this message today. Long before this moment arrived, quiet preparations were already taking place around you. You may not have noticed them. Life has a way of moving so quickly that the small signals pass by unnoticed. Yet every experience you have lived through recently has been gently guiding you toward one specific encounter. Pause and think about the last few weeks. The thoughts that suddenly appeared in your mind. The feeling that something new was waiting just ahead. The quiet moments when you sensed that your story was not finished yet. None of that was random. Each step was slowly bringing you closer to the moment when you will meet the woman with gray hair. And when that moment arrives, something inside you will recognize it immediately. Not because you were expecting her, but because your heart will feel a strange sense of calm, as if a missing piece of a puzzle has finally appeared in front of the journey. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you to understand about this meeting. You see, this woman carries something unusual, the ability to notice what others overlook. She has spent many years observing life carefully, learning from quiet moments that most people rush past. That is why, when she looks at you, it will feel different. Her gaze will not be rushed. Her voice will be gentle. And her words may seem simple at first, but they will stay with you long after the conversation ends. It might happen in a place where people normally come and go without thinking twice. A waiting area. A peaceful corner of a park. A small moment during an ordinary day. Yet when she begins to speak, you may feel as though time slows down for a brief moment. Because what she says will touch something deep inside you. And suddenly, the idea of packing your bags will begin to make sense. Not as an escape, but as a step forward. A sign that a new chapter is opening. Right now you may still be wondering why this encounter matters so much, and why this message is urging you to prepare. That answer is closer than you think. Because in the next part, you will discover what the woman with gray hair has quietly been waiting to tell you, and why the moment you meet her may change the direction of your journey in a way you never imagined. In the quiet rhythm of an ordinary day, the moment will arrive without warning. You will not hear an announcement. There will be no grand sign telling you that something meaningful is about to unfold. Instead, it will begin with a simple glance, the kind of moment people usually forget within seconds. But this time, you will not forget. Across the room, or perhaps along a quiet path, you will notice her. A woman with gentle gray hair, standing or sitting with a calm presence that seems untouched by the rush of the world around her. At first, nothing dramatic will happen. She may simply look toward you for a brief second. Yet in that glance, there will be a strange feeling, as if the moment has paused just long enough for something important to pass between you. Stay with this story. Don't skip, because something huge is slowly revealing itself. When your paths finally cross, the conversation may begin in the most ordinary way. A simple greeting. A quiet smile. A few words exchanged out of courtesy. But then something unexpected will happen. Her voice will carry a calm confidence, the kind that only comes from years of understanding life's quiet lessons. And as she speaks, you may notice that she listens more than she talks, as if she is carefully observing the story hidden behind your words. This is where the moment becomes different. She will say something that makes you pause. It will not be loud. It will not be dramatic. Yet the meaning behind her words will feel surprisingly personal, as if she somehow understands the crossroads you have been standing at lately. You might wonder how she knows. You might even feel a gentle curiosity building inside you, a feeling that this encounter was not simply a coincidence. And slowly, the idea that you should prepare for something new will begin to feel real. Pack your bags, not because you are leaving your life behind, but because a door you never noticed before is beginning to open. But the most surprising part of this encounter has not happened yet. Because in the next moment of your story, the woman with gray hair will reveal something simple, yet powerful enough to change the way you see the path ahead. Then, in the middle of that quiet conversation, something subtle will change. It will not be loud or dramatic. Instead, it will feel like the moment when a soft breeze moves through still air, barely noticeable, yet impossible to ignore once you feel it. The woman with gray hair will pause for a second before speaking again. Her expression will carry a gentle warmth, as if she understands far more about this moment than she is saying out loud. And then she will share a simple thought. Not a command. Not a prediction. Just a quiet observation that feels strangely connected to your own journey. Her words may sound ordinary, but the feeling they create inside you will be anything but ordinary. Because suddenly, pieces of your life that once seemed scattered will begin to make sense. The doubts you carried, the questions that stayed in your mind, the silent feeling that something more was waiting for you, all of it will begin to connect in a way you never expected. Stay with this moment. Don't skip, because something huge is slowly coming into view. She will not speak quickly. Every sentence will feel thoughtful, calm, almost as if she is choosing her words carefully so they land exactly where they need to. And somewhere in that exchange, she will gently mention the idea of movement. Not rushing. Not escaping. But moving forward. That is when the thought of packing your bags will return to your mind, not as a strange idea anymore, but as a quiet signal that a new chapter is close. You may not fully understand it yet, but the energy of this encounter will stay with you long after you walk away. Because the woman with gray hair is not only sharing a conversation. She is awakening something within you, a readiness you did not realize you had. And just when you think the meeting has already revealed its meaning, the most surprising part will appear. Because in the next part of this journey, you will discover why this woman seemed to recognize something about you instantly, and why your paths were meant to cross at exactly this moment in your life. Just when you think the moment is ending, she will say something that makes you pause again. It will come gently, almost like a passing remark, but the meaning behind it will feel deeper than the words themselves. The woman with gray hair will look at you with a calm, thoughtful expression, as if she has been quietly observing the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the small details most people overlook. And then she will share something that feels unexpectedly personal. Not because she knows your story in detail, but because she understands people in a way that only years of experience can teach. She might say that sometimes the most important journeys begin when a person least expects them. Not when everything is perfect, but when someone is finally ready to see their own path clearly. Don't skip this moment. Stay till the end, because something huge is still waiting for you. Her words will not sound dramatic. They will feel calm and natural, yet they will linger in your mind as if they were meant specifically for you. You may begin to realize that the idea of packing your bags is not only about a physical trip. It represents something deeper. A willingness to step into the unknown with courage. A readiness to leave behind doubts that once held you back. And as this realization slowly forms in your mind, the woman with gray hair may smile quietly, as if she already knows what you are beginning to understand. She will not rush you. She will simply allow the moment to unfold. Because she knows that some realizations cannot be forced. They arrive gently, like sunlight appearing after a long, quiet night. But the most fascinating part of this encounter is still hidden. Because in the next moment, the woman with gray hair will reveal why she felt compelled to speak to you at all, and the reason behind that choice will make this meeting feel even more meaningful than you imagined. As the conversation gently continues, a quiet truth will begin to surface. The woman with gray hair will lean back slightly, her expression calm and thoughtful, as if she is remembering something important. For a brief moment, she may look beyond you, toward the horizon or the passing crowd, before returning her attention to you again. Then she will share something unexpected. She will explain that she almost didn't start this conversation. At first, she simply noticed you from a distance. Something about your presence caught her attention, not in a loud or obvious way, but in the quiet way certain people stand out when they are standing on the edge of a new chapter. And that is when she felt a gentle instinct to speak. Not because she had to, but because she sensed that you might be standing at a turning point in your journey. Stay with this moment. Don't skip, because something huge is still unfolding. You may begin to feel that the meeting itself is the reminders. A quiet signal that it is time to move forward. The thought of packing your bags will return again, stronger now, but still calm and peaceful. Not a demand, not a rush, simply a feeling that something meaningful is waiting beyond your current horizon. The woman with gray hair will smile softly, as if she understands that realization has begun to settle in your heart. She will not ask you to explain anything. Instead, she will let the silence between words carry its own meaning. Because sometimes the most powerful understanding happens in those quiet spaces where nothing more needs to be said. And just when you think the purpose of this encounter has been fully revealed, one final detail will appear, something that will make you see this meeting in a completely new light. Because in the next part, you will discover the surprising reason this woman recognized something about you long before the conversation even began. Before the moment slips away, she will quietly reveal one final thought that changes the entire meaning of your meeting. Her voice will remain calm, almost reflective, as if she is sharing something she rarely says aloud. For a brief second, the world around you may seem distant, the sound softer, the movement slower, as if the moment itself wants you to hear every word clearly. She will tell you that when she first noticed you, there was something familiar about the way you carried yourself. Not your face. Not your clothes. But the quiet determination in your presence. She will explain that she has seen that look before, in people who are standing right at the doorway of a new beginning. People who may not realize it yet, but whose lives are about to move in a direction they never expected. Don't skip this part. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting to settle in your understanding. Her words will not feel dramatic, but they will carry a gentle weight. As she speaks, you may begin to recognize that the restless thoughts you have been feeling lately were not confusion at all. They were preparation. Preparation for change. Preparation for movement. Preparation for the moment when the idea of packing your bags would finally feel natural rather than surprising. The woman with gray hair will then share a quiet smile, the kind that comes from someone who has seen many journeys begin in unexpected ways. She will remind you that sometimes the most meaningful chapters of life start with something very small, a conversation, a moment of reflection, a simple realization that it is time to step forward. And as those words settle in your mind, you may feel a new sense of clarity beginning to form. The path ahead may still be unknown, but it no longer feels uncertain. Yet even after all of this, there is still one final piece of the story waiting to reveal itself, something that will make you understand why this mess.